Well, Case Riders gave Ronald Koeman his international debut as a youngster, and he is here, of course, to pay tribute to him this evening. Marco van Basten and Ruud Gullit were also given their opportunities in the Dutch team back in the early 1980s. And we are about to get underway here inside the Johan Cruyff Arena. A crucial stopping off point for Scotland on the road to Germany and the European Championships. And it's Scotland wearing all dark blue with that yellow sash across the shorts, who will get this match underway. The Netherlands in their famous orange, and it's Scotland kicking from right to left in the first half, and it's quickly played towards this near side where Mats Wiever wins the ball in the air for the Netherlands, and they're quickly on the attack on this near side there right with Memphis Depay, but he's challenged by Hendry and he just runs the ball out of play, and it will be a throw-in for Scotland in the opening seconds.
Yes, important. Jack Hendry there seen the danger, came out, snuffed it out, made sure he got the tackle, and I thought it was a poor ball from Ryan Porteous from the get-go. Make sure you kick through the ball, put it in behind so that Shankland can go and challenge.
Scotland have to do some early defending here as it's jabbed wide on the far side. And now Patterson plays it infield towards McGinn. McGinn looking to squeeze it further forward to Christie, but it's cut out by Hertroider. He goes all the way back to the Brentford goalkeeper Mark Flecken, who clears long downfield, and it's guided back. Good defending by Porteous all the way back towards Angus Gunn, winning only his 8th cap this evening. But really, there are a number of options for Steve Clarke in the goalkeeping area at the moment.
Yeah, Angus Gunn, he's definitely made that position his own. He's been performing really, really well. Some clean sheets for fun as well. But yeah, good defending there from Ryan Porteous. I think Shankland's always a threat in behind. As soon as John McGinn gets it back to play, you know that he can just swivel and get that ball in behind.
Christie infield towards McGinn. Everything really to his right-hand side, including Porteous. And further wide to Patterson, who played as a central defender in the match against Norway, but is being used as a wing-back this evening on the right-hand side. Now Robertson on the left does well to rise and head the ball back in field, looking for Christie, but it's nodded away by Hertroider, and Scotland have a throw-in on this near side with 2 minutes played, and it's 0-0.
Yeah, it's excellent from Tierney, isn't it? You know, doesn't even have to get his head up. He knows that Robertson's going to be breaking his neck. He had to kind of slow down the ball a little bit more on it. He's had a lot of room for error there, but I like Ryan Christie up supported.
Hendry allows the ball to bounce midway inside his own half, and Depay almost won it back. A reminder of the two teams once again. 7 changes for Scotland. It's Gunn in goal, Porteous, Hendry and Tierney the back three, Patterson, Gilmore, McTominay and Robertson across midfield, with Christie and McGinn supporting Shankland in attack, as Wiever plays it forward now for the Netherlands once again, but in the end they're forced back to the halfway line. Flecken in goal for the Netherlands. Frimpong, Hertroider, Van Dijk and Ake, their back four. Wiever, Wijnaldum and Reinders in midfield. Simons, Depay and Gakpo leading their attack. And really, they're almost playing with a false 9 as Van Dijk goes all the way back to Flecken.
Really impressed with the Netherlands, you know, out of possession, pressing really, really well. From a Scottish point of view, I think they've just got to be a little bit more, I say a little bit more brave. You know, give the ball to the likes of Billy Gilmour, who's always presenting himself. You know, that you get it, he's comfortable, that breaks up a press, and then you're in control.
McGinn down the line for Patterson on the right. He'll take on Reinders by the corner flag on the far side. Then he's forced back infield, no real support for him. And it's Gakpo who comes back to make the challenge, and the Netherlands will clear once again with 3.5 minutes played in Amsterdam, and it's goalless on Talksport 2.
Well, he made it all himself. Nathan Patterson down that right-hand side. I just want end product. There's 4 Scottish shots in the box there. You know, he's got at his man. He's a 1v1 scenario. He's made that yard, came back onto his left. Just put it in. Put the delivery in. Ask the question.
Well, a free kick's been given to Scotland now on the far side, and they had the opportunity to try and deliver a set piece into the penalty area. It was Patterson who was bowled over on the far side, and McGinn is over this. In fact, it wasn't Patterson, it was Gilmore who was caught, and it's a free kick for Scotland in a dangerous area, almost level with the edge of the Dutch penalty area, wide on the right. And McGinn will whip this ball in. Shankland makes the run towards the near post for Christie, but it's beyond both of them, and it's into the arms of Mark Flecker.
Yeah, he's got to be better there, McGinn. An excellent chance to just put that delivery in right in the money. Now they've got to defend here.
Now Frimpong coming forward on this near side for the Netherlands. A low ball in, though, is swept away by Hendry towards this near side, and it's cleared up towards the halfway line by Tierney. Christie with a nutmeg on Wiefer, but it's quickly won back by Xavi Simons, who is having an excellent season with Leipzig on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, having done really well in the Eredivisie in the Netherlands with PSV during the previous campaign. Now Hertreude, the captain of Feyenoord. A long ball is lofted forward. There's no flag against Gakpo. He's quickly into the penalty area, goes beyond gun, he's forced wide. Eventually the cross is blocked, and Tierney is able to clear the ball away, and then eventually the flag does go up for offside.
Talk to me about this. Now I'm looking at Gakpo there. I've got to say it is tight looking at the monitor. But this is a case, a player can get injured here. Look at Jack Henry goes in, Angus comes out. There could be serious injury. We've seen it time and time again. And I've got to be on the officials' side there that it was a very tight one, so you have to play it out. But I can understand the frustration of the defensive unit of Scotland there.
But at the same time, the officials here are working to the laws that they've been given, so the change can't really be made in the stadium tonight. But I take your point. We have seen players, notably Ederson, injured in recent times due to that. Players playing on when the player's effectively dead. 6 minutes played, 0-0. McTominay wide to the far side, and Patterson infield to McGinn, who is currently on 18 international goals. If he scores tonight, he will move level with Ali McCoist, joint fifth on the all-time Scotland scoring list. Down the line on this near side from Tierney. Now Christie, worked further wide by Shankland towards Tierney again, who waits for Christie on the overlap. The cross in towards McGinn. It's eventually headed away on the edge of the penalty area by Reinders. Patterson for Scotland, finding McTominay, and now Patterson again into the wide area. It needs to be a good cross, but it's cut out at the near post by Van Dijk, and Scotland will have a throw-in on the far side.
Well, it's excellent play from Scotland. First down this left-hand side, you know, Christie, Shankland, Robertson linking up very well. I want Robertson to get at Frimpong there, 1-on-1 with the energy that he's got. You know, I think it was Tierney that's break his neck to get round the outside of him as well. But any excellent play, recycled it round the other side, end product as well. Body's breaking the neck to get in there. That's what you want to see. Just the quality of that little dink from Patterson needed to be better.
Scotland last won in the Netherlands back in 1959. The previous meeting, nearly 3 years ago, was actually in Portugal. A 2-2 draw before the European Championship. Scotland were twice ahead in that game, and Memphis Depay equalised right at the end, and he also scored the only goal the last time they played in Scotland at Pataudry back in 2017. And Scotland's only win in their last 12 against the Netherlands was that playoff first leg back in 2003, which was cancelled out by the Netherlands with a 6-0 victory on the way to Euro 2004. Now McTominay rides a couple of challenges, but there was a flailing arm there from McTominay according to the referee, and he has been penalised, and in fact he will be shown a yellow card by Eric Lambrechts.
It's an absolute joke. Scott McTominay is in complete control of the ball here, and he's busting away, and he's just trying to protect. Now the arm comes up naturally when you're trying to protect the ball. I'm looking at it in the monitor, and I just think it's one of them. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, and the referee's positioned. The hand comes down, no contact to the face, and he makes the most of it. It's poor officiating.
Well, Xavi Simons went down clutching his face. In fact, he was caught around the middle of the chest. It was a sort of handoff for McTominay, but really, Simons did him no favours there and led to that yellow card.
There's VAR tonight, so can't that ref slow it down before he makes a decision and actually wait?
No, not on a yellow card, no.
But before he brings the yellow card out, Nigel, just slow it down, have a little bit of conversation in his ear, because that's not a yellow card.
Now McGinn on this near side has support from Patterson. He's closed down by Gakpo, and McGinn will eventually come inside, and he's almost caught out on the halfway line by Depay, but Scotland do have players in support. And it's Jack Hendry, who was up against one of his teammates from Al Ettifaq in the Saudi Pro League this evening, Jorginho Wijnaldum. It's Hertreude beat Shankland in the air. McTominay again is looking to drive from midfield. He's got support from McGinn, who lofts it wide to this near side, and Robertson. Robertson, of course, always has Tierney backing him up down the left-hand side. And now it's Hendry once again. And Depay will try and close him down, but in the end, Tierney will go all the way back towards Angus Gunn. Winning only his 8th cap this evening, but you look down the list of goalkeepers, of course, Craig Gordon is back in the squad, but he never plays a league game for Hearts. Alexander Clark is the first choice at Hearts, but he's only played 3 internationals as Scotland win the ball back midway inside the Netherlands half. The cross in towards Shankland with a looping header, and it's high over the top.
It's excellent. Scotland are using the ball really, really well, playing through the thirds. We've already seen the quality of Shankland, the control, awareness, his movement, and then his distribution as well. I just want a little bit of communication. This is a great ball from Patterson. Just floats it in between the last defender and goalkeeper. I think Shankland can take that on his chest, possibly protect it. He's in the box. Swivel, get his shot away there. Ryan Christie's gambling in behind. Excellent intensity here from Scotland at the minute.
10 minutes played, 0-0. As the Dutch play out. And here is Simons, wide to the far side. And Nathan Ake. Simons again, who is another young Dutch player of immense talent, only 20 years of age. Now Geertruida. He is 23, but he's already a title winner in the Netherlands at Feyenoord. But they play into the press and McTominay wins it back, and he looks for Robertson on this near side, but coming back to make the challenge was Frimpong, but Robertson has come away with the ball. A crossing opportunity here, but it's a deep cross wide towards the far side. Gilmour, though, will keep the ball in play. Back towards Patterson, who maybe thought about taking on Gakpo, but instead he goes back towards Gilmour again. And Scotland are content to try and recycle and maybe move again down the left-hand side. Robertson coming in field to find McTominay, but he's quickly closed down by Gakpo. And now Depay down the centre for the Netherlands once again, but Hendry comes across with the challenge.
It's brilliant defending, isn't it? You know, I think Scotland using the ball well. Scott McTominay just showed too much of it, and then basically you're defending 3v3. Jack Hendry comes across, snuffs it out. Again, his timing, his awareness was excellent, and then just the composure just to pass it into the path of Billy Gilmour as well.
Scotland don't have a great recent record in friendlies, only 2 wins in 17. Of course, they were recently beaten by England in that ceremonial game, and those wins have both come by a goal to nil. Away from home at Hungary in 2018 and Luxembourg in 2021. And they're facing a Netherlands team who have been very good at home recently, but Scotland are spraying the ball around here as Patterson plays it infield towards Shankland, but Geertruida is able to cut it out. And now Simons wide towards Jeremy Frimpong, winning only his 2nd cap this evening, but he's part of the Bayer Leverkusen team who are running away with the Bundesliga under Xabi Alonso. Nathan Ake again on the far side. 13 minutes played on Talksport 2. Netherlands 0, Scotland 0. Coming up tomorrow here on Talksport 2 at 12:30, the Manchester Derby from the Women's Super League with Cameron Pope and Lucy Ward. And then at 3 o'clock we have action from League One on this international weekend. Big game as well towards the top of the table. Northampton against Derby with Adam Bridge and Perry Groves. And then at 7 o'clock over on Talksport, England against Brazil, live from Wembley with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce. And there is more Women's Super League action on Sunday, the Merseyside Derby from Goodison Park with Matt Jones and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And then England are back in action on Tuesday at home to Belgium. And Scotland win it back on the edge of their own penalty area. Hendry, with the help of Robertson, goes back towards Gunn. And next Wednesday here on Talksport 2, the second leg of Chelsea's UEFA Women's Champions League quarter-final against Ajax with Ian Danta and Rhian Skinner, the West Ham women's manager. Chelsea 3 up from the first leg. Scotland give the ball away cheaply. Here is Reinders down the left-hand side. Looks to find Depay inside the area, but Gilmour is quick to bring the ball away. But Wijnaldum has it again for the Netherlands. Wide to this near side. And Frimpong. Plays the 1-2 with Simons. And it's back to Tiani Reinders once again, who is now with Milan in Italy after really making his name in the Netherlands with RZ. But the Netherlands try to force it and they've given the ball away. Robertson coming forward down the left, cuts in field, works the 1-2 with Gilmour. Now he's looking for space down the right-hand side. Patterson will have to go a long way to get this ball, then forgets to take it with him and it dribbles straight out of play. And it will be a throw into the Netherlands just inside their own half with 15 minutes played, and it's still goalless on Talksport 2.
Yeah, but it's excellent energy from Andy Robertson there. You know, he's anticipated it, he's intercepted the pass, he's driving forward, a little give and go with Gilmour there under control. I want John McGinn to be expansive there, be that outlet, hugging the sideline there. Nathan Patterson, get control of the ball, get at your man, because he's been excellent so far this game.
The former Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo with us here on Talksport 2. Scotland playing Northern Ireland on Tuesday. Then they have 2 more friendlies coming up before the Euros against Gibraltar and Finland. And then it's the opening game of the tournament against Germany in Munich. And Scotland will also play Switzerland in Cologne and Hungary in Stuttgart. And on the face of it, at least, that looks to be a group in which a team playing well, rather like Scotland were at the start of the qualification, could go through. And of course Scotland have never gone beyond the group stage at any major tournament, but this could be their opportunity. In that first game with Germany, as McTominay fouls Vifa, and it will be a free kick for the Netherlands. It could go either way, but I think it's a good time to play a team which will be nervous because they've been out of form for years.
Yeah, they're at home, the pressure's on them. You know, I think it's about feeding off that kind of atmosphere, that environment. But something about this Scotland squad, they have been clinical. You know, they've been ruthless, especially those first games to qualify as early as they did. But they have to score when they're on top.
Now Gilmour coming forward again down the right-hand side. The high cross in is over the head of Shankland, but the header comes in at the far post and it's blocked. It was Christie with a powerful header and it thundered off the crossbar, and Shankland just unable to get the rebound.
It's an excellent ball in. I thought it was a little bit too much on it, but the bravery of Ryan Christie just to get the contact, all the pace was on the cross itself. I thought it was a goal. I thought the goalkeeper's pushed it on. Like he's pushed it onto the goal. You know what a save that is. Correct me if my eyes are deceiving me here, Nigel, but it's a great header from Christie.
Oh yeah, excellent save by Flecken.
Wow. There's so much. What a reaction save that is. You know, because he's only a couple of metres away from him there. The pace that was on the header itself. It's an excellent, strong hand there from Flecken.
Northern Ireland also in action tonight. And Stevenage's Jamie Reid has given them the lead away to Romania. Reid given his opportunity by Michael O'Neill, and he scored the opening goal against the team who will be heading to the Euros, as Simons has been fouled just inside the Netherlands half. With 18 minutes played, it's 0-0, but Scotland already hitting the crossbar. And it's interesting to see elsewhere a win for Wales' under-21 side tonight against Lithuania, but really the story is Lewis Koumas has scored the winning goal for them. Son of Jason, of course, scored for Liverpool in the FA Cup recently, promoted up to Wales' under-21 side tonight, and he scored the winning goal there as well. He is certainly a name to look out for. And Wales, of course, have their big night as well on Tuesday at home to Poland, a win, and they will be joining England and Scotland at the Euros. Here is an opportunity though for the Netherlands. Wijnaldum breaking into the penalty area, has to chop back and cut outside and find Vifa, who is in support. Now it's wide to this near side and Frimpong down the right. 4 orange shirts waiting for the cross, back towards Vifa. Slid square now to Reinders. It's all incredibly congested now for the Netherlands on the edge of the penalty area. Simons again, but they've given time for Scotland to really regroup here until it's played wide to Gakpo on the left. The early cross into the penalty area, seeking out Wijnaldum. It's cleared away initially, played back into the penalty area, and McTominay will run the ball clear.
Well, talking about that defensive header there from Kieran Tierney, he had to make some sort of contact. I thought it was just going to go over him there, but he timed it perfectly and took out the path there. Excellent ball in as well, but fantastic defending there from Scotland.
20 minutes played, 0-0, and it's been the sort of open game we were hoping for before kick-off. The Netherlands looking to record 4 victories without conceding for the first time since 2013, but Scotland hoping to end a run of 5 games without a win. If they don't, it would be their worst run since October 2007 to September 2008, but Scotland were in a very different place then compared to where they are now. Of course, they're heading to a major tournament. And we talk about 5 games without a win, Chris, but the fact is they had 5 wins in a row, and if they'd scattered those draws amongst those victories, things would look maybe very different.
You understand, you've got to remember, Nigel, it's England, Spain and France, 3 of those defeats, you know, and gave a very good account of themselves against Spain in both games. England, there was a massive void in quality there. I have to say that really kind of put Scotland back in the box, but you know, it's all about learning and taking things from these games, and France was a similar game, even though taking the lead there with the Billy Gilmore game. It's all about managing games and how to kind of keep it tight, and it just, we never really had that quality against the French.
So 0-0 here. A reminder, Jamie Reid with a goal on his debut for Northern Ireland against Romania this evening, so they lead by a 1-0. Elsewhere in Europe, Eduardo Vargas has given Chile the lead against Albania. Albania also heading to the European Championships under the former Arsenal and Barcelona fullback Silvinho, who's done such a good job there. They qualified ahead of both Poland and the Czech Republic. Now Scotland moving forward again down the left. Robertson tries to work it infield towards Christie, who's caught late there by Simons, and it will be a free kick for Scotland with 22 minutes played on Talksport 2. 0-0, but Scotland giving as good as they're getting. No, they definitely are. You know, Ryan Christie knew he was going to take a sore one there from Simons, you know, got there first. But I just think that the one-touch stuff that I'm seeing from Scotland at the minute's been excellent. You know, Robertson, Tierney, I think Ryan Christie's been outstanding so far. Should have, you know, done everything right, hit the target. You know, it was an excellent save, but really using the ball well. Free kick for Scotland, played in by Gilmore, high to the far post. McTominay was the target, but it's nodded away by Van Dijk. And now Depay, he was just clipped close to the halfway line by Christie, but Depay continues, swirls the ball right to the far side, but Frimpong was unable to gather. And the ball will bobble away for a throw into Scotland, but the Netherlands do have that ability on the counter-attack to do some real damage. Yeah, I think Scotland had overcommitted there. Far too many players ahead of the ball. So it was an excellent defensive header there from the Netherlands, and it was they were outnumbered. So it's so important that Scotland they don't overcommit. But like you say, I think Depay there just a little bit behind Frimpong. It was he's better quality than that, isn't he? And I'm sure Steve Clarke and his coaching team will have an eye on the Netherlands' next game, which is against Germany on Tuesday, Scotland's first opponents at the World Cup. They then face Canada and Iceland in June. And then they are in an interesting group. They will play the playoff winner from Path A in their opening game in Hamburg. We hope that will be Wales. We'll find out on Tuesday. It will be Wales or Poland. Then it's the French in Leipzig, and then Austria in Berlin. So the French and the Dutch will be strong favourites to make progress from that group in the top 2. And if Wales do qualify, it will be undoubtedly very tough for them, but it's always better to be there than not. Now Tierney in towards Shankland, the ball not sticking with him, but Scotland work hard through Gilmore to win it back, and now McGinn sprays it wide to the far side, the right, and Patterson. Gilmour takes over again. 25 minutes played. Romania equalise against Northern Ireland. 1-1 midway through the first half there. So Jamie Reid's early goal has been cancelled out as Frimpong on the edge of his own penalty area goes back towards Mark Flecken, who was keeping Brighton's Bart Verbruggen and Marco Bizzo of Brest in the shadows at the moment as the Dutch number one, but they have three goalkeepers and none of them have a huge amount of experience in the absence of Justin Bilau, who seems to be sadly permanently injured, the final goalkeeper of Scotland, with another free kick. And the Dutch have given away one or two technical fouls, and it was Nathan Ake this time shoving John McGinn just inside the Scotland half.
Yeah, he does it well, John McGinn. I think just intelligence, he knows as soon as he feels that contact. A little bit excessive there as well from Ake. He goes to floor. Scott McTominay, though, defensively getting back, helping his team out. That's what we expect from him. Go and be an attacking threat, but defensively you've got your responsibility as well. Coming back and intercepting, getting a little touch.
Van Dijk's ball forward is cut out by Gilmour. And here is McGinn on the far side. And Nathan Patterson of Everton. Hendry. And Christie finding Robertson down the left for Scotland. 25 minutes played, and Scotland enjoying decent spells of possession here, and they get another free kick, and it's Vifa with the foul midway inside the Netherlands half on McTominay.
Well, what I'm loving is every opportunity the ball can go forward from Scotland, it does. And Scott McTominay there, excellent first touch, invited that challenge from Woofer there, and like you say, it was a little bit excessive, came through the back of him. And it was a pure challenge.
26 minutes played, and we welcome listeners from Talksport. It is the Netherlands 0, Scotland 0 in the Johan Cruyff Arena. Scotland have done well so far. Ryan Christie's had a header turned onto the crossbar by Mark Flecken, the Brentford goalkeeper. Scotland have a free kick here, floated wide to this near side, the left, and Robertson, a high hanging ball towards the far post, nodded back infield. Gilmour will try and control on the edge of the penalty area. It's cleared as far as McGinn by Depay, but now Patterson for Scotland again, down their right. Swings in the cross, shaping for the header was Hendry, but it's cleared away initially, brought down by Shankland inside the penalty area. Nodded forward by Hendry again. The head tennis continues inside the box before Xavi Simons hooks the ball away for the Dutch, but Scotland still coming forward here. Good spell for them. Patterson on this far side, the right, and now McGinn, a high diagonal ball forward in towards the edge of the penalty area, flicked on by Ryan Porteous, who is still forward. And now Tierney finding Christie, but the move eventually breaks down, and this could be the problem for Scotland as they're caught upfield as the Netherlands try and break on this near side, but Simons tries a flick to evade Kieran Tierney, and it doesn't work. And for the benefit of our listeners on Talksport, Chris Iwelumo, just give us an up sum of the game so far.
Well, I think Steve Clarke will be absolutely delighted. I think Scotland are edging the possession as well, and they're really on top, using the ball well. They have end product, best chance of the game as well with the Ryan Christie header. It was an excellent slave from Flecken, but so impressive playing through the thirds. Shankland is an outlet. His hold-up play has been excellent, bringing players in, but Patterson and Robertson on either flank have been outstanding.
Commentary continues on Talksport 2. 28 minutes played. It is the Netherlands 0, Scotland 0. Flecken again forced to try and beat the press with a long ball forward. The Netherlands goalkeeper this time, Gakpo on the far side, holding off Patterson. That's Everton against Liverpool. And here is Reinders. Always a very elegant player at the heart of the Dutch midfield. Now Wijnaldum. Wide towards Gakpo again. Only Memphis Depay has scored more goals for the Netherlands since Cody Gakpo made his debut for the national side. Currently has 9 goals in 21 games. Now Simons. Patroida. Wide towards Vifa again, who is another young player who has made his way into the Netherlands squad within the last 12 months or so, having stepped up to a big club in Feyenoord, won the title with them last season. Simons again, and he's isolated once again. Porteous has support from Patterson, And it's all the way back to the Norwich goalkeeper, Angus Gunn. Lovely touch in field from McGinn, looking to find McTominay, but McTominay fouls Wijnaldum, and it will be a free kick for the Netherlands. With nearly half an hour played on Talksport 2, and it's still goalless, but all of the shots in the game so far have come from the Scots.
Yeah, they've been good, haven't they? I think they're just the distribution from Angus Gunn. You know, he's reliable, isn't he? You know, you're getting that quality. It's so important. That's a nasty challenge, that is. Memphis Depay.
And he'll be shown a yellow card here for catching McTominay, the former Manchester United player on the current one. And the referee having to show consistency here, having booked McTominay earlier on. Depay rather lunging in, having lost the ball in his attempt to win it back from McTominay. Showed his studs, and they landed on the left foot of McTominay, and that's why he's been booked.
Yeah, I don't think it's intentional. I see Billy Gilmore just having a little chat with the referee there, saying that he's showing studs, but it's a genuine attempt to win the ball, and then it's just a forward progression onto the standing foot of McTominay there.
And the game has rather settled down here.
How good has Shankland been with his first touch? His hold-up play has been absolutely outstanding.
Max Wiefer has caught McTominay, and it will be another free kick here for Scotland. And there were one or two challenges there in that passage of play which could have resulted in the decision. But now it's been given away by Patterson on the far side, cut out by Wijnaldum. Here is Ake, now Reinders. Ake again joining in down the left-hand side. Depay comes short this time. And support from Simons, but it's shorter towards Ake. Now down the line for Wijnaldum once again. Now 33 years of age. This is 91st cap for the Netherlands this evening. And Memphis Depay is winning his 89th. And in that time, he has scored 44 goals, 1 and 2, which is an excellent record. As a Netherlands player has gone down on this near side, it's Frimpong, and the Scotland player involved wasn't too happy with the reaction there, and Christie quickly hauls Frimpong back to his feet, but the Netherlands do have a free kick.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and I'm not like it. You know, it is a free kick. I don't think it warrants Frimpong to stay down and holding himself, but Ryan Christie has to be careful. You know, 2 arms on there, pushing Frimpong to the floor. You know, it's nothing in it, but you don't roll about on the floor like you've been shot.
Now Gakpo on the far side, in towards Depay, back towards Gakpo. He goes down inside the penalty area under the challenge of McTominay, and the appeals are waved away. We do have VAR. Lawrence Visser, the Belgian official, in charge tonight, and we'll look at the replay here. And well, Gakpo dived. There was no contact at all there for McTominay on first view, and looking at the second view on the monitor, that's embarrassing there from Cody Gakpo. He should be booked for simulation. Yes,
he should. You know what? And I'm disappointed that that's not happened, because it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Shouldn't be in the game, so punish it.
I wonder if this had been a competitive game that Eric Lambrechts would have shown the yellow card there, but
does it make a difference?
It should make a difference, but you know how these things go. I was covering the game between Ukraine and Bosnia in the playoffs last night, and there was a booking for simulation in that game, and the referee was onto it very quickly, and it was a similar sort of situation. Now Gakpo again though, down the left-hand side, looks to slip it forward towards Simons. It was the right sort of idea, but just beyond him, and it's gathered by Angus Gunn with 33 minutes played on Talksport 2, and it's still the Netherlands 0, Scotland 0.
Yeah, a real threat. Gakpo there coming in off the left-hand side. It's an excellent run from Simons as well. You know, I think he's a little bit too much on the pass, but I think Simons can actually take the ball in his path with a first touch, and then second touch in the back of the net, get the shot away at least.
Ronald Koeman very expressive on the edge of his technical area. As Scotland look to break again. McTominay wide to the left, and Christie. The low ball is whipped in, and it's skipped over the top by McGinn at the near post.
Yeah, excellent quality. Again, Ryan Christie. I think he's going for Shankland. John McGinn tries to get across the front of Van Dijk there and just gets a little touch with the outside of his right boot.
If he'd left it for Shankland, I think he would have had a clear sight of goal.
I'm not sure it's making it though, Nigel. If John McGinn steps over that, I think he's the defensive players got in there. I think it's Gertrude.
Now Scotland breaking again with Christie deep inside the penalty area, finding Gilmore, laid wide towards Christie again. The high cross in towards the far post over the heads of both Shankland and McTominay, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Well, that little flick in there from Christie. Watch Van Dijk done everything right just to put Shankland off. Knew that he wasn't going to get there, but just the back, the shoulder into the back of Shankland, just great experience. Had to make the contact, or Shankland was getting a little touch to that Christie ball there.
Elsewhere tonight, still Romania 1, Northern Ireland 1. And Hungary and Turkey, two sides have qualified for the Euros, are currently 0-0 in Budapest, and Chile still leading Albania by a 1-0. Good game at the London Stadium tonight as well. That kicks off at 8:30, about 6 minutes time, Spain against Colombia. And I would imagine it is lively in Stratford this evening. Now Hertroyd for the Netherlands. And they've looked like a team struggling for goals so far, we have to say. Plenty of possession, but no efforts on goal at all, as McTominay and Simons tangle once again. Simons goes down. McTominay very agitated with the fall to the turf there from Simons, and no free kick has been given. But now Gakpo is rugby tackled by McGinn, and it will be a yellow card.
Well, it's just a silly foul to give away. You know, I think Gakpo had a lot to do still. McGinn, just track back, get yourself into your defensive line, and then go from there. I think you're always going to get a yellow card, and it puts you in a difficult position. But again, Xavi Simons should be shown a card for simulation. The referee waved it away straight away.
But it's a free kick for the Netherlands with 8.5 minutes to play in the first half. We'll be hearing from the England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford during half-time here on Talksport 2, building up to the big game at Wembley tomorrow night on Talksport. 7 o'clock kick-off, England against Brazil. Free kick here for the Netherlands, which Xavi Simons will take. Ake and Van Dijk are both forward. It's clipped in towards the Troider in the end, but Scotland's offside trap rather came out in instalments, but the free kick was overhit anyway.
Yeah, it was. You know, I think excellent defensive line from Scotland there. I think Xavi Simons just put a little bit too much on it. 3, possibly even 4 Netherlands players in offside positions just from that little step up there from the defensive unit of Scotland.
The Dutch, of course, quarter-finalists at the World Cup when they lost in that incredible game against Argentina in Lusail. They were disappointing in the last Euros. I remember being in Amsterdam watching them lose to the Czechs. And that was after back-to-back failures to reach tournaments. A real dark period which Ronald Koeman helped to drag them out of. I remember seeing them in this stadium lose to England before the 2018 World Cup in one of his early games, and they looked a bit of a shambles then. But he raised the standards and then moved on to Barcelona for a season or so, and came back following the retirement of Louis van Gaal following the previous World Cup. As Scotland rather overhit the pass forward once again, and the Netherlands will have the opportunity to build from the back. 38 minutes played, 0-0. Reinders on the far side, turning away from McGinn. And once again, the midfielders for the Netherlands are rather going in ones and twos, lacking support at times. Here is Hertroyd. And now Vifa. Depay makes the run down the right-hand channel, but it's further wide towards Frimpong. Back towards Vifa again. Reinders 25 yards out in a central area. Frimpong will try and take on Robertson and hit the byline. Checks back, finds Vifa. Now Reinders again, and the Netherlands here extremely patient as they search for their first effort on goal with 6 minutes to play in the first half. Simmons again. Now Van Dijk stepping in. And Gakpo will try and take on Patterson. Infield towards Reinders. Space for the shot, fires it in brilliantly. And the Netherlands have the lead. Tajani Reinders with his first international goal. And he absolutely leathered that from 25 yards. Scotland backed off for a second, and Reinders made them pay. And Steve Clarke's team looking to end a run of 5 matches without a victory on the road to the Euros are a goal down in Amsterdam.
It's an excellent strike from Tajani Reinders there. I've got to say, that's what it needed, the game, because they weren't going to score with the tippy-tappy stuff that we've seen so far. What a strike this is! Yeah, the Scottish defensive unit stepped off, but you're happy. You're happy for the opposition player to shoot from there. It's an outstanding strike. Angus Gunn had no chance whatsoever. I knew it was a goal as soon as it left his foot, just with the movement of the ball. What a strike that is, Nigel.
And Scotland fall behind 5 minutes before half-time. And the Netherlands' first effort on goal whistled beyond Angus Gunn, who had absolutely no chance. And after Scotland have seen a header turned against the crossbar, they've marginally been the better side, certainly the more incisive side. It's the Netherlands who go 1 goal up.
Nigel, it's a hard one to take. You know, you look at the players, I think being in control, used the ball really well, created the better chance, you know, and got into more dangerous areas, looked the more threatening. But that's what we said previous about the quality of this Dutch side. You know, they have individuals that can turn the game on its head without creating any chances. What a strike this is, you know, and probably takes a shot on because they've not really had much joy doing anything else. But, you know, as soon as it left its foot, you know, Angus Gunn was struggling.
And this is not a Netherlands team which has all of their big guns playing. Matthijs de Ligt is on the bench this evening. Denzel Dumfries is also on the sidelines, and you go further forward and Donald Mylan could also maybe have a case as the striker, as McTominay comes forward now, almost finds Shanklin inside the penalty area. It's won back by Gilmour, who works hard. He drives in the low cross, which is deflected behind by Van Dijk for the first corner of the game 3 minutes before half-time.
Well, again, excellent reaction from Scotland, isn't it? John McGinn, little ball over the top. Scott McTominay trying to influence the match as he's done time and time again. I think he's got to take that first touch forward. He's already in behind the defensive line, but he allows him to get back. Billy Gilmour then, again, on his front foot, anticipating, retrieves that loose ball and tries to just fire one across the face of the goal. And the Netherlands defended, I think it was Van Dijk, got the block in.
In swinging corner towards the near post, looking for McTominay. It breaks to Gilmour, who never really gets hold of the shot, and it's shoveled away by the Dutch towards this near side, and Scotland will have a throw-in. A goal down, 2.5 minutes before half-time on Talksport 2. Tierney finding Robertson, of course, no offside from the throw-in. Robertson looks to deliver the low cross in, which was blocked by Frimpong, and Scotland have another throw-in by the corner flag on this near side. And Steve Clarke, pacing around his technical area, now has 1 or 2 things to think about for his half-time team talk.
Yeah, I'll be frustrated, Nigel. You know, I think it was a game plan that was being executed near enough perfectly if they'd got that goal and then defended from there. But like you say, you just, if anything, don't stand off players when they get it. You know, I think as soon as Reinders gets the ball in that position, can someone get close enough to affect it? But that's me clutching at straws, because it's been a near perfect performance from Scotland.
And the Netherlands maybe do have the look of a tournament team in that they've not created too much, but they've made the most of what they've had.
Exactly. Like you say, when you've got individuals with the quality that they've got, you don't need to dominate possession, you don't need to create chance after chance. But if you're going in after whatever 45, 48 minutes, whatever it's going to be, 1-0 up, it's job done.
And we're heading towards the final minute of normal time in the first half here on Talksport 2. We'll be looking ahead to the England game during the half-time break. In the second half of the international weekend, we'll be following that, and we'll be covering England against Belgium on Tuesday with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce, and also will be keeping a very close eye on Wales's playoff final at home to Poland. A victory for them, and they will be heading to the Euros as well, and they would face the Dutch in their opening game should they get there. And when Scotland get to Germany, they'll be looking for their first win at a major tournament since Ali McCoist scored the only goal against Switzerland at Villa Park at Euro 1996. Now Gakpo chasing a long ball forward, brings it down well, but he collides with Gunn right on the edge of the penalty area, and Gunn did well to get the ball away.
Yeah, again, I think it's just Gunn doing that responsibility, coming out, sweeping the danger up, knowing he's going to take a sore one there. A clash of heads as well, wasn't there, with Gakpo and Gunn there.
Going back to Euro 96, of course, Scotland drew with the Netherlands at Villa Park in their opening game, which was a really good performance under the late Craig Brown. We're into a single minute of added time at the end of the first half here. Netherlands leading by a 1-0. Many Scotland fans taking advantage of the fact you can drink inside the stadium in the Netherlands and heading downstairs to get around it. And Simons comes forward now down the Dutch left-hand side. Okay, once again. Now Reinders the goal scorer. And Vifa making that burst from midfield. He almost makes it into the penalty area, but his route to goal is cut off by Tierney. And Scotland should be able to clear as the minute of added time is about to expire here. Maybe one final chance though for the Netherlands. Wijnaldum inside the penalty area, finding Depay down the left. Depay cutting back into their 6-yard area. The shot was blocked. It's still Depay turning away from Hendry. The low ball in though is eventually cleared on this near side. Christie has it, and that is half time, and Scotland so close to going 2 goals down just before the break.
Yeah, well, I understand the reaction. You've got to try and get back into the game. You take necessary risk, and I've got to say the Netherlands have capitalised there, using the ball and got into a threatening position. That in the 18-yard box, Memphis Depay manipulating the ball, creating that angle, but he wasn't passing it. He was wanting to get the shot away, and it was an excellent block at the end of the day. But you know, this Dutch side are a definite threat in those attacking areas. But it's so important that Scotland that they've got to be disciplined as well. Yeah, go forward, try and get back in the game, but you've got to have be very mindful defensively as well, Nigel.
And overall, you used the word frustration, and I think Steve Clarke will be frustrated because Scotland have done well. They built the platform here. Of course, they hit the crossbar. It was an excellent save by Mark Flecken to keep out the header from Ryan Christie. They've been bright. They've looked to get into the faces of the Dutch players moving forward, but they've only created one effort on target, and the first shot the Dutch have had has gone in, and that will be the frustration, to go back to that word. Yeah, but
it's very much, I'm sure Steve Clarke will be saying very much the same. Go out, you know, if anything, there was opportunities. You know, you're saying one shot on target, but there was opportunity that Scott McTominay could have taken one in. Billy Gilmour could have, the one that was bouncing, who's waiting for it, allowing it to be intercepted. Go and take that on the full, chest it, get the volley away. There was opportunities to get that shot. You know, I think even the Van Dijk little challenge on the back of Shankland with the little Ryan Christie cross. So there's opportunities, but this is the same old story. When in control, when on top, creating chances, it's so important that you have to score when
Which
you
is
are
what
on
Scotland
top.
were doing in the opening 5 games of qualification.
Yes, they were, and I mean ruthless, clinical, getting the points on the board, managing the game. And then when the opposition was going and throwing everything at it to try and get back in the game, they were capitalising and taking advantage and getting a second or third goal.
And what about Lawrence Shankland? Give us a striker's appreciation. It can be tough up there on your own away from home, and he's not had a huge amount to work with, but he's not shirked it.
I think he's been excellent. I think his hold-up play has been spot on, his movement, his distribution, everything. He's ticked all the boxes. What I will say, when the ball comes into the box, he's been there, but the delivery hasn't been great. You know, it's fallen to other players in that attacking three. And I've just got to say that's where he just needs a little bit of luck as well, because his movement has been outstanding. His hold-up play has been spot on. He's real awareness of the players around him as well. I think he'll be very, very happy so far. So,
half-time in the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam. The Netherlands won, Scotland 0. We'll be looking ahead to England's big game tomorrow against Brazil, coming up next on Talksport
2. Official broadcast partner of the English Football League.
Why do I race for life? For my very own Bal babe, who calls rain liquid sunshine, whose presence is like one big hug. A treasure hunter in the charity shops and a fighter through her treatment. She believed in me before I believed in myself. That's my sister from another mister. Her name is Viv, and I'm racing for her.
No matter how cancer affects us, life is worth racing for. Sign up to your local event at raceforlife.org by the 29th of April to get 30% off entry, in partnership with headline sponsor Standard Life.
Switch to EE and get our fastest full fibre ever.
Well, how fast is fast?
Up to 1.6 gig fast.
What? So I can do online Pilates?
While they watch cartoons?
And download 4K films?
Whilst I'm gaming?
All at the same time?
That's right. All powered by BT with absolutely nothing to pay up front.
What? Nothing?
Not a thing. No wonder broadband switchers choose EE. Offer ends 4th of April.
New customers, 32.5% UK availability. Terms apply.
Excuse me. Sorry. I think that's my seat. You know, I got these tickets free with Sky Cinema. That's date night sorted.
Shh, the film's starting.
Yeah, sorry.
Hang on. Aren't you Idris Elba?
Yeah, that's me. Shh. Sorry, mate. Sky Cinema customers can now get 2 free view tickets every month. Upgrade today.
Sky TV contract required. Valid Sunday to Thursday. Limits and restrictions apply. See sky.com for terms.
Don't know where to start your next paint project? At Wix. Find all the inspiration and help you'll need. Plus, Dulux standard 2.5 litre coloured emulsion was £21, now £15. Terms apply.
The £11 million lotto jackpot must be won this Saturday, or thousands of you will win a share of the prize. But who will it be? Maybe someone bowling, like Dave, who mistyped his name as Bave. Oh well, get in the draw, Bave! Lotto, will you be next? Play on app. The National Lottery. Estimated jackpot. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
I'm Manveen Rana from The Story, a daily news podcast from The Times. Join me and my co-host Luke Jones for a deep dive into the big stories and investigations. Plus, each month, William Hague hosts an agenda-setting interview with a key newsmaker or big thinker. That's The Story, The Times daily podcast that brings you one remarkable story told in depth. Listen every weekday on the Times radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tickling your boss's hand is not appropriate. Shaking it is. Eating a bucket of KFC at your desk is not appropriate. Eating the new KFC lunch meal deal is. It's a Twister wrap, crisps and drink from $5.49. Workplace appropriate, but when finger licking is not. Weekdays until 3 p.m. In-store at participating restaurants only. See kfc.co.uk for full T's and C's.
The mud, the sweat and the cheers.
What a hit!
International Friendly live
on Talksport 2.
The crucial stopping off point for Scotland on the road to Germany and the European Championships. A high cross in is over the head of Shankland, but the header comes in at the far post and it's blocked. It was Christie with a powerful header and it thundered off the crossbar.
What a save that is. Wow, how good has Shankland been with his first touch, his hold-up play. He's been absolutely outstanding.
Gakpo will try and take on Patterson. Infield towards Reinders. Space for the shot, fires it in brilliantly and the Netherlands have the lead. Tijani Reinders with his first international goal and he absolutely leathered that from 25 yards. Scotland backed off for a second and Reinders made them pay.
It's an outstanding strike. Angus Gunn had no chance whatsoever. I knew it was a goal as soon as it left his foot, just with the movement of the ball. What a strike that is, Nigel.
8:41 on Talksport 2, half-time in the Johan Cruyff Arena. It is 1-0 to the Netherlands against Scotland in this pre-tournament friendly before Euro 2024. Elsewhere, it is Romania 1, Northern Ireland 1. Stevenage's Jamie Reid scoring on his international debut. He had the Northern Irish ahead during the first half. Elsewhere, it is goalless between Hungary and Turkey. Chile lead in Albania by 1-0, and they are 10 minutes in at the London Stadium where Spain are playing Colombia, and it is goalless there at the moment. Of course, coming up on TalkSport tomorrow night live from Wembley at 7 o'clock, it is England against Brazil. with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and the former England captain Stuart Pearce. Our England correspondent Faye Carruthers will also be part of our team there, and she's just been talking to the England manager Gareth Southgate, who has been sending his best wishes to Princess Catherine following news of her cancer diagnosis earlier this evening.
There is one more question to ask, actually, as the England manager. The news about the Princess of Wales broke earlier on today. I just wondered if you had a message for her at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, clearly our thoughts and best wishes are with her and the rest of the family. We of course have a very close relationship with the Prince, and very difficult time for them all, and I thought the statement that she delivered was incredibly dignified.
And of course the Prince of Wales is the president of the Football Association, so he is somebody who Gareth Southgate knows well, and he is offering Princess Kate all of his best wishes, as we all do, and there is continuing coverage of tonight's news over on Times Radio and Talk TV. And of course, football-wise, it's been a turbulent week in the media for the Three Lions. Speculation over Ben White's international future, and also Gareth Southgate being linked with the Manchester United job. But England's number one, Jordan Pickford, has been a mainstay between the sticks for 6 years now, and he's been talking to Faye Carruthers.
I want to talk to you about the Ben White situation, but not directly, if that makes sense. Just from a player who always wears the Three Lions on his shirt with such pride.
Yep.
How surprised were you that one of your teammates from 2 tournaments decided that he didn't want to play for England at the minute?
Yeah, it's a life decision, and something what I can't maybe comment on, because something might be big outside, might be a bit bigger and more important than for England. But for me, all I can say is I love nothing more than pulling the Three Lions over me on my shirt, and I wear it with full of pride, and I love them every time I come away with England.
And you always speak really highly of Gareth Southgate as well whenever we sit down and chat. Obviously, he's been linked in the media with the Manchester United job if it were to come available at some point. What is he like as a man manager, as a tactician, from your point of view?
No, I think he's a great man manager. You know, you can go to him, speak to him, have a conversation all the time, and I think him and the staff around, every time we come up with England, they've got that baseline ready for you for each individual game. Everything you want, you know, they put all the sessions on, but you've got all the analyst work as well behind the scenes, all the training footage if you want anything, or if you want any footage on opponents that you're facing. They've got absolutely everything there, and they do their utmost to make us, England, successful.
And in terms of, you know, there's always this debate about elite managers, and I would say if you're an international manager, you're an elite manager. But when there are question marks over Gareth Southgate and decisions he's made in the past for England, where do you stand on this debate? How does he go from international to club?
No, I think he's a top manager, and you know, with last 3 tournaments, with the semis, the final and the quarter-final, you know, disappointing not to win anything out of all 3, but it shows progression, it shows consistency as well, and yeah, our next step as a team, and you know, for Gareth, and I think he'll say he wants it for the full nation, but us as players, the next step is for us to lift a trophy, and we've got a great opportunity come this summer.
Yeah, how desperate are you, and how confident are you can do that?
Yeah, you've got to be confident, not arrogant. You've got to have that confidence that you're going to win it and believe that we're going to win it, but not have an arrogance about it, and which I can guarantee none of us in the England squad will do, because we've got a great group of lads, a top set of lads, and yeah, we'll just work hard. You know, comes the summer, you know, we've got 2 warm-up games before the Euros start, and we've got 3 tough group games, so the first objective is always to get out of the group, and that's all we ever done in each tournament we've played, and we've never looked too far ahead. We've took game by game, and I don't think it'll change come this summer.
That is Jordan Pickford talking to our England correspondent Faye Carruthers, and she'll be pitchside for us at Wembley tomorrow evening for the game against Brazil. Chris Iwelumo is back alongside me before the second half of Scotland's game against the Netherlands, where the Dutch lead by a 1-0. But looking at England, where would you say they are in the pecking order for the Euros?
Yeah, for me, they're favourites to go on and win the tournament. You know, I think the quality, the depth that they've got, you know, the players that are on form coming into it. Yeah, a few little injuries, which is always the case, but I don't think anything too serious. And I guess you learn from past experience as well. You know, I think Harry Kane scores that goal in Qatar against France. I think again they go on and probably win the tournament. You know, I think that's the quality they've got. They've got strength, they've got quality, they've got players, and we've spoken about it, individuals that can go on and win a game and make a real difference. So yeah, I think as much as it pains me to say it, it's going to be an interesting summer.
But you make the point there, it's often fine margins. Harry Kane misses the penalty. We saw what happened at the end of the Euros final against Italy, and we've seen the Dutch this evening. They've not been brilliant. Of course, this is a friendly, but they're leading.
Nigel, this is what football is all about, especially at the elite, at the top level. It is small margins. You don't take a chance, you pass something wrong, you make a defensive error, you are punished, or you get the success off the back of it. And that is what I'm saying. On another day, England go on and win the Euros. You know, it's the last one where they lose it on penalties. You know, they're getting closer and closer.
And just a final word about the European Championships. Of course, we could have a third UK nation there. Wales on Tuesday, very impressive last night to beat Finland 4-1. They've got Poland in the playoff final. I think they're at a similar stage of development to Scotland. I think Scotland are further on. They've got more players playing in the Premier League, but Wales now are in a situation where they've got players playing in first teams on a regular basis, and it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and young players as well, so it's like, I guess, the longevity of it as well. So yeah, of course, I'm hoping that result, get another home nations there in a major tournament. That's what we want, and I'm sure all the nations will take their fans, and it'll be one hell of a summer.
Let's hope that happens for Wales on Tuesday. Scotland about to re-emerge for the second half here on Talksport 2. There don't look to be any changes at half-time, certainly to the Scotland team. A reminder, coming up tomorrow on Talksport 2, big game in the Women's Super League, the Manchester Derby from the Etihad Stadium at 12:30. City against United with Cameron Pope and Lucy Ward. That's followed by Northampton against Derby from League One at 3 with Adam Bridge and Perry Grove. Then the England game we've been talking about is on Talksport at 7. And we've got the Merseyside Derby from the Women's Super League, 1 o'clock on Sunday here on Talksport 2 with Matt Jones and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. More England action on Tuesday. They play Belgium at Wembley with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce. And then we have the quarter-final second leg of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Wednesday night from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Ajax with Ian Danta and the West Ham manager Rhian Skinner. Chelsea 3 up from a very clinical first leg. We are back underway here at the Johan Cruyff Arena. The Netherlands leading by a 0 in all orange. Scotland in their new dark blue strip with yellow trim, and they're attacking the goal away to our right in the second half.
I'm just looking at the referees given an offside, but Scotland were in great possession in basically 3 players against probably 4 in the Netherlands' favour there. I'm very surprised that he's pulled it back. Surely they can just allow the game to play on. I don't see too many surprises. I think very much the same tactics as the first half, and then make sure you don't concede again. Maybe the last 15 minutes, if it's still similar, then going a little bit more aggressive and throwing everything at it, Nigel.
A reminder of the Scotland team again. Gunn in goal, the back 3, Porteous, Hendry and Tierney, Patterson, Gilmore, McTominay and Robertson across midfield, McGinn and Christie supporting Shankland. The Netherlands, Flecken in goal, Frimpong, Hertroida, Van Dijk and Ake, Vitha, Wijnaldum and Reinders, Simons, Depay and Gakpo. And Depay, McGinn and McTominay all booked by the Belgian referee Eric Lamberex during the first half. Scotland look to build again with Gilmore, who has been perpetual motion around midfield, as had Scott McTominay. Wide towards the far side, the left. but they have to go back towards Tierney. And now Hendry slips it forward again to find McGinn, and McGinn's got space and Patterson to his right, but instead McGinn swings a long crossfield ball wide towards the far side, and Tierney slipped into the penalty area for McTominay. Can he turn? 8 yards out, he can turn, but the shot is deflected by Reinders and it bubbles into the arms of Mark Flecken, and I just wonder there if McTominay could have taken the shot earlier.
Yeah, you're spot on, Nigel. I've got to say, excellent play. You've done ever so well. Great pass from John McGinn out to Andy Robertson. He finds Scott McTominay, excellent pass, controls the ball. He's got Reinders to beat. He manipulates the ball, gets that yard. He's got to take it. He's got to just snapshot, and it's in the back of the net. He's 6 yards from goal. Just put everything in it. He took an extra touch, allowed Reinders to then get a little bit closer and nullify the shot and get the block in.
Well, McTominay scored 7 times in the European qualifiers. He's also enjoying his best scoring season for Manchester United with 9 goals. And he's on the ball again here, McTominay. Striding clear and wide to the right-hand side of McGinn, who just miscontrols momentarily, but now scampers infield onto that left foot. McGinn with another ball up towards the far side. Robertson keeps the ball alive, finds Christie inside the penalty area. He has to poke it back though towards Tierney, and here is Robertson again. Now Christie back towards Robertson, slipped into McTominay, who looks to spin on the edge of the penalty area. Vifa though sticks with the challenge, but Robertson wins it back. The low cross in towards the near post is slick here by Reinders and fired back towards goal by Gilmour, but it's a real bobbler and it's a comfortable save for Flecken.
Yeah, it was again excellent pressure. Kieran Tierney goes on. John McGinn just couldn't go on to the little cutback from Tierney there. Billy Gilmour, he just couldn't get the ball under control. I think he's hit the shot into the ground, where I think sometimes maybe just keep possession of the ball there. We had enough options, but when you're on the 18-yard line, the ball's just bobbling. I think you just got to hit it on the full and see where it goes. Ask that question of Flecken there, but better start again. Now they're showing real quality in that attack in third Scotland.
Okay, as Rob McGinn on this near side, infield to Mats Vifa, who spins away from McTominay into the path of Simmons, who's looking for the pace of Frimpong on the outside, but Simmons instead holds on to it, may go himself. Back infield to Reinders. Now Xavi Simmons again tries to find Wijnaldum on the edge of the penalty area, but it's all a bit tight. Porteous with the clearance, and now Christie does well to ride the challenge initially, but he's now given the ball away to Vifa. Simmons inside the penalty area, and then the shot driven in by Depay, and it's an excellent save by Gunn. Depay spinning inside the penalty area, should have scored really, but Angus Gunn keeping the Scots afloat.
Well, Xavi Simmons is just running the show in there. His movement, his awareness was excellent. Little give and go to Memphis Depay. He rolls Jack Henry there. The connection, isn't it? He done everything right, but the connection just allowed Angus Gunn with a fingertip. He saved that excellent quality there from the Netherlands, and you can see by Depay that he knows that should be in the back of the net.
But Xavi Simmons again is beginning to dominate the game in those sorts of areas, and that could be a problem for the Scots.
But it came from Ryan Christie, just overplaying, keeping the ball far too much, allowing Netherlands, because they press very well.
Now McGinn strikes a shot at the other end, beaten away by Flecken. Back towards McGinn again inside the penalty area. The cross and the header is wide, and it was a great opportunity for Christie. Hit the bar with a header in the first half, and this time he fails to hit the target from close range.
Well, it's an excellent shot from John McGinn with the left on the bounce. Flecken, good save. McGinn gets it. I've got to say, Christie's got to do better for me there. He's tried to go back across from where it came, and I think Flecken was rooted. So he hits the target. That's in the back of the net. That's another massive opportunity, Nigel.
Now Van Dijk bounces off McTominay and plays it forward to this near side, but Patterson will win it back, and here is McGinn again. McGinn, though, is lost out to Gakpo. Wijnaldum quickly forward to find Depay. Depay finding Simmons, and he's got Reinders making the run in behind ahead of him. Simmons, though, will go back towards Depay. Gakpo's in space. Simmons, though, was caught off the ball, and it's a free kick for the Netherlands. It was Gilmour who took him down about 30 yards out, and with 51 minutes played on Talksport 2, the Netherlands still leading by a goal to nil, and this a free kick in a central area, but a long way out.
Yeah, I can understand why it's given. I still think it's soft there. Kieran Tierney just with the shoulder into Simmons there. but he's not aware of it. He's already released the ball, so I can understand why the free kick's given.
And now Mats Vifa is down. Something happened there off the ball, and he ran into Kieran Tierney, who just showed him the shoulder. And I don't think it was a malicious barge there from Tierney, but Vifa certainly felt it and went down.
Well, you do feel it, you know, if Vifa's trying to get in behind and Tierney just stepped into his path. You know, I think it's intelligent defensive play, but it can also kind of knock the wind out of you as well if you're not expecting it, Nigel.
Well, no free kicks being given. The set piece that the Netherlands had was taken, and it will be a drop ball in the end, and the ball will be given back to the Netherlands. And Reinders does not allow the ball to bounce there, so Eric Lambrechts, the referee, has to do it again. Well, we're eventually back underway, and it's all the way back to Mark Flekken. And now Depay back towards Van Dijk. And the Netherlands here once again, they do have spells in the game where they don't really seem to have a huge amount of pace about their team, but then they suddenly bring teams on, and they've got that pace in behind. Players like Xavi Simons, and also Cody Gakpo is no slouch. And they're a team who have now given the ball away on the edge of their own penalty area. Gilmour strikes it, and it's deflected just wide, and the Dutch really overplaying there on the edge of their own penalty area. And Scotland waited their moment. It was Flekken who tried to play the ball out. It broke to Gilmour, and he almost scored.
Yeah, it's setting the trap, wasn't it? And I've got to say, I think Gilmour's tried to go to the near post. I think he's got to go across, give the eyes, and come across, because Flekken's came to cover that side also.
The high ball into the far post. Frimpong will head the ball away. Now Tierney on the left for Scotland. Low cross in, but it's gathered by Depay, who quickly clears. Patterson, though, wins the header midway inside the Netherlands half. Christie back towards Tierney. A high ball wide to this near side. Ake, though, will cut the ball out, and it's guided back by Reinders towards Flekken once again. And I wonder if he will play out this time. And he does again towards Troidu, and the Dutch continuing to stick to their principles here. If you watch a game in the Eredivisie, everybody plays out, but the difference is nobody pushes on.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, I think it's one of the demands from the manager. He's not going to shy away from that. Yeah, you're going to get caught out every now and again, but it's instilled in these players, especially Flekken. Can you get it down? Can you play out your feet? Create that space in the middle third and the attacking third, and then with 2-3 passes, they're getting an opportunity at goal or a cross coming in, Nigel.
Dominic Szoboszlai has scored a penalty for Hungary. They lead Turkey by a 0-0 in the second half of their friendly this evening, as Reinders breaks over the halfway line now for the Netherlands. Gakpo on the left, he's got support from Ake, but Gakpo goes for goal, and it's tipped over the top by Gunn, and that's an excellent save.
It's an excellent save. You know, you see Angus Gunn, he's getting closer and closer to that near post. You just can't allow. It's excellent play from Memphis Depay and Reinders. As soon as Gakpo gets the ball, you know that he's wanting to get that shot away. He's manipulating the ball. Ball's moving all the while as well, dipping, and Angus Gunn got 2 good hands on it there.
Depay plays to Shauna, caught the corner short. Depay with the cross into the penalty area, and it's hammered away by McTominay. Simons back towards the edge of the penalty area. Van Dijk had to be offside there, but nothing was given. McGinn brings it clear, and Scotland have the ability to break here, and it was Kieran Tierney who spotted Flekken off his line, went for goal from the halfway line, and was about 50 yards wide.
Yeah, well, there's no one any doubt that he has the quality there, just the connection wasn't right. And I think a little bit of simulation there from John McGinn that I've just seen on the monitor that he had a little laugh about after asking the referee if there was anything in it.
He's been booked. He needs to be careful. Although the referee didn't book Gakpo earlier on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's a friendly, Nigel. They don't book simulation in friendlies.
Well, we'll see. 11 minutes played in the second half on Talksport 2. Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. But Scotland again are asking most of the questions going forward. They've had 9 shots so far in the game, 3 on target. The Netherlands have had 3. but 2 of theirs have been on target. But here is an opportunity for Robertson, breaking clear up towards the edge of the penalty area, turned away from Ake, but the ball just evaded him when he was thinking about the shot, and the Dutch are able to clear. And now a free kick's been given for the challenge on Gakpo.
Well, it's an excellent break from Scotland there. Andy Robertson getting in behind Nathan Ake, done ever so well just to slow it up. I just feel that Robertson, if anything, get the shot away, or then you have to slow down and then just try and hopefully someone's going to get up and support you there. But excellent defending from Nathan Ake.
Matroida on the far side stands on the ball inside the centre circle. Such were the lack of options ahead of him. 57 minutes played. Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. As it's won back again by Simons. Wijnaldum, who still has the trust of Ronald Koeman, playing now in Saudi Arabia. Of course, the same goes for Jack Hendry, his club teammate, but you could maybe argue that Scotland have fewer options. There are plenty of midfielders available for the Netherlands. Martin de Roon is on the bench. Toyn Koopmeiners, another Atalanta midfielder, is also an option during this game as well. As Patterson just holds up Gakpo on this near side, but the Dutch do have a throw-in. And neither manager has gone to their bench yet. Depay plays it square towards Simons. And now Frimpong down the right-hand side. Low in towards Simons, who spins, shoots, and it's wide.
Well, it's coming, isn't it? You look at Simons, he's finding himself in some fantastic positions. A little bit of link-up play there with Frimpong down the right-hand side, but he shouldn't have that space. A player of that quality in the 18-yard box, Nigel. You know, there's 6-7 yards, he can take a touch, he can turn, he can have a third touch if he wants. You know, but he knows with the quality that he's got, Simons there, that has to be at least hitting the target, that shot.
Patterson, fouled by Ake on this near side. Ake can't believe it, but the free kick's being given. And Patterson just hobbling away, and there will be changes very soon for the Netherlands. Denzel Dumfries and Joey Veerman are 2 of the players who will be coming on. Veerman of PSV and Dumfries, formerly of PSV, now with Inter at the top of Serie A. As McTominay has given the ball away to Frimpong. Simons played it in between Wijnaldum and Depay, and Gilmour will bring it clear for Scotland, who are determined to express themselves at every opportunity here. Of course, it's a friendly, so why not? But at the same time, Steve Clarke will want to see the sort of patterns in a big stadium against high calibre opposition that maybe they could put to some good use when it really matters in Germany.
Well, I think that's, just on that note, I think that's been very evident. I think it's been very impressive, but it's got to be impressive and with reward as well, Nigel, and that's goals. You know, coming away from this unbeaten, you know, I think they've really been very competitive, really controlled the game with the ball as well. Yeah, the Dutch side are going to have opportunities and they're going to use the ball with the quality they have. But I think Steve Clarke will take more positives if it stays like this, if they can get something out of this game.
Steve Clarke won his final cap for Scotland against the Netherlands. A loss in Utrecht back in 1994. Didn't play too many times for Scotland during his career, but they did have some high-quality central defenders around his time. Players like Alec McLeish, Willie Miller. It was a really good spell for Scotland. Certainly didn't qualify for as many tournaments as they should have done during the 1980s. Though, of course, they reached 2 World Cups. Given away by Vifa. Here was a great chance now for Shankland! And he's hit the top of the crossbar. And that was the big opportunity for Lawrence Shankland to make the most of his chance here tonight. The mistake by Vifa, closed down by McTominay, and Shankland clean through. They've been going in for Hearts in the SPFL, but here for Scotland, he struck the frame of the goal.
Yeah, he's very unlucky there. I think set the trap again. The error, unforced. Shankland's onto it. He's going in 1-1. He's trying to put it right into the top. The postage stamp there, Nigel. It does take a little bobble just before he hits it. I think he's just got to make sure he hits the target. Flecken's coming out, does his job, trying to make himself as big as possible. But the form that Lawrence Shanklin is in, that has to be in the back of the net.
Jeremy Frimpong has gone off, and Denzel Dumfries, who will be another athletic player down the right, has come on, and Joey Veerman has replaced Mats Vifa in midfield. Now Simons at the other end, waiting for Dumfries to get involved. His first touch wide on the right, exchanges passes with Reinders, back towards Simons again. Dumfries winning his 51st cap this evening, still only 27 years of age. Veerman winning only his 7th, but he's been more of a late developer in terms of international football. And there was a time when national coaches seemed reluctant to pick players from the Eredivisie. Of course, they had maybe more luxurious options playing abroad, but Ronald Koeman has done a good job of allying homegrown talent with those who've already moved on. Flecken running her Troida of Feyenoord, and now Ake. Netherlands 1, Scotland 0. 63 minutes played here on Talksport 2. Scotland should be level. Really, they should be ahead.
Yeah, totally agree. But like you say, it's not the scoreline, so it's about how the players react, how they go about business at the minute. Yeah, they should be getting confidence from the opportunities they're creating, but they have to be, like you say, clinical. They have to be hitting the back of the net. Big opportunities. Even the Scott McTominay one where he took that extra touch, that should be in the back of the net with the form that he's in.
11 shots for Scotland, 2 on target now. Now Depay, square to Reinders, almost threads it through for Wijnaldum. He will have more licence to get forward now with Joey Veerman at the base of midfield. McGinn for Scotland, midway inside the Scotland half. In towards McTominay. Do you think Scotland are more comfortable with a back three or a back four, do you think?
Well, I think they've shown that they're capable with both. I think when you look at a back three, you've got even with Patterson and Robertson, but Aaron Hickey as well. They've got great energy, good technical players that are comfortable, that can do the job defensively, but it's all about end product. It's all about getting into the attacking areas with numbers. And like you say, I think it's they've had success with both, Nigel.
Christie just unable to control a high dropping ball on the far side. Her Troida going back towards Flecken. And I suppose, Chris, with the way they're playing, Tierney can always shuffle across to the left, so Robertson could almost be playing as a left winger at times.
Well, that's what usually happens, when Scotland are on top. I think Kieran Tierney, he underlaps, he overlaps. They share that role. Robertson has the intelligence to drop in a bit more defensive when Tierney's in those advanced areas. But there's been times where they're both right in the attacking third on that flank. And it's all about the service that they deliver. Now you're looking about the likes of Lyndon Dykes and Che Adams. Lyndon Dykes with the two of the Ryan Christie's headers, that's in the back of the net.
Scotland have had their chances here, but they still trail with 25 minutes to play by a goal to nil. Gakpo. Now Reinders. Of course, they face Northern Ireland on Tuesday. Northern Ireland still 1-1 in Romania. Simons plays it wide to the far side, but it's behind Gakpo. The Dutch aren't really playing well here. Scotland deserves some credit for that, but at times the Dutch do look a bit like a team of individuals. But it was one moment of individual brilliance which led to the goal.
It was. I think Xavi Simons is seeing a lot of the ball. Poor pass to Gakpo there, but he's still finding himself in some fantastic positions. I think Scotland at the minute, I think it's they're happy, they're comfortable. Yeah, they've got to defend, but they go forward in numbers and do leave themselves a little bit short defensively, I've got to say. Risk and reward, Nigel, that's what the game's all about.
Gilmore in towards McTominay again. And do Scotland have another big opportunity in them? They've hit the crossbar twice in this game. Christie seeing his header turned onto the bar superbly by Flecken in the first half, and Shankland hitting the top of the crossbar when clean through a few moments ago. And he has scored 27 goals in 39 games this season. But he won't be scoring here tonight because he's coming off. And maybe a look of disappointment on the face of Lawrence Shankland. This was his big chance. He had his big chance and he missed it.
Yeah, you're very, very harsh, Nigel. I think, as a striker,
it's true though, isn't it?
As a striker, you come off and you don't think about the hold-up play, you don't think about the runs, the movement, the link-up play, the aerial duels that you've won. You think about that one chance, and he will be hard on himself. But Steve Clarke, with the man manager that is, he'll say, you know what, you were outstanding tonight. Yeah, you should have a goal to your name, and I guess that's what it's all about. I do understand what you're saying.
John Souttar is also coming on. Of course, the brother of Harry at Leicester, Billy Gilmore, will also be replaced. And it will be interesting to see Lewis Ferguson of Bologna, the captain of the Italian side, has 6 goals from midfield so far this season, and he's now displaced Dennis Law as the top scoring Scotsman in the Italian league, although I would imagine that's a fairly short list. Now an opportunity for Depay, who goes down on the edge of the penalty area. No free kick has been given. Che Adams has also come on to replace Shankland, and the referee looked to play the advantage and has now gone back to give a free kick to the Netherlands right on the edge of the box.
Yeah, he's got it spot on, hasn't he? Jack Henry's all over Memphis Depay there. No, you can't put your hands on your shoulders. If anything, the first little bit, but you've got to remove your hands and then get yourself as close to the ball to make a possible contact there. Jack Henry just kept hold of Depay as he was falling as well. The referee tried to play advantage, fantastic officiating there, but nothing prevailed for the Netherlands.
Well, Depay does have the ability to get these free kicks up and down from this sort of area. He scored one against Scotland from similar range before. Depay, Gakpo and Ake are over it, but surely it is going to be the Dutch number 10. Everybody back defending here for Scotland. Depay puffs out his cheeks, curls it over the wall, and the wall leaps, and it was blocked on the edge of the penalty area by Hendry, and then Christie is shoved over by Dumfries, and it will be a free kick.
Well, that's what I was supposed to do there. There was no turning heads. Jack Henry, stood strong, good connection.
Fair play to John McGinn. He didn't pull rank. He was the draft excluded there. Could have given it to one of the younger players. Now McTominay swings a high ball wide to this near side. Patterson will get there before Ake, and he's got support in field from McGinn inside the penalty area. Went for the left foot curler, but he always set it just a bit too far outside that far post for it to come back in.
Yeah, he did. It's another excellent opportunity. John McGinn knew exactly where the goal was there. Let the ball run across him there, and you're right, he's just trying to bend it round that defender. Never troubled Fleck, and he was comfortable there, wasn't he?
And we welcome listeners from Talksport, where with 20 minutes to play, Scotland trail the Netherlands by 1-0. The goal just before half-time from Tiani Reinders hammered the ball in from 20 yards after Scotland just backed off on the edge of the penalty area, but they've had the chances in the second half. McGinn seeing a shot beaten away by Flecken, and Shankland clean through following an error from Vifa. One-on-one with Flecken, hit the top of the crossbar. The Heart striker really should have scored.
Yeah, he should have, in the form that he's in as well. He done everything right, and then it just took a little bit of a bobble before he came to it, but he's trying to put it right in to the top right-hand corner there and got too much purchase on the ball. he'd be disappointed with that one tonight, but he's been an excellent performance. I mean, all round, his hold-up play, his awareness, his aerial duels, he's done everything else right but score. But I know that we're all our own worst critics, Nigel.
Well, Scotland have had 12 shots on goal, but only 2 on target. The Dutch looking to bring it forward now with Gakpo. Down the left-hand side, cuts in field, high to the far post, and the header's into the back of the net. And Jorginho Wijnaldum makes it 2-0. And all of those missed opportunities for Scotland have come back to haunt them there. Wijnaldum unmarked inside the penalty area with a stooping header. And Scotland are heading towards Germany with a run of 6 matches without a victory. Netherlands 2, Scotland 0.
Well, it's an excellent goal, isn't it? I think Wijnaldum found himself just floating in there. Gakpo picked him out perfectly. But look, he's between both centre-backs there, Suter and Henry, unmarked. A lot of work still to do to get the power and the accuracy on the header. But that's where I think Jack Henry or John Suter's got to be saying to Jack Henry, you drop. And then Ryan Porteous then come and they've got to shuffle and have that understanding. But he just floated in there at the right time, executed it fantastically well.
Well, the current Liverpool player picked out the former Liverpool player, Jorginho Wijnaldum, with the goal. Commentary continues on Talksport 2. With 18 minutes to play, it is the Netherlands 2, Scotland 0. And there was a VAR check. I think the goal has been given, but Scotland are making more changes anyway. Nathan Patterson has gone off. And Anthony Ralston of Celtic has come on. And Ryan Christie is also heading off. And Stuart Armstrong of Southampton will come onto the field of play for him.
Yeah, you're looking at those changes again. It just shows you the quality of the depth that Scotland have. Very capable players, like for like, coming in. The intensity's high. I think, a little bit hard done by. It takes a little bit of the shine off that conceding that second goal. It's a poor goal to concede as well. Just poor defending there. But they've been excellent, and created the better chances and should be very much still in this game.
Half-time at the London Stadium. It's Spain 0, Colombia 0. Here it is Netherlands 2, Scotland 0. Still 1-1 between Romania and Northern Ireland this evening. Jamie Reid with the early goal in Bucharest, which was cancelled out midway through the first half. That Weghorst is about to come on along with Donnell Mylan for the Netherlands. So 2 strikers, so they'll be changing things up for the final 15 minutes or so. Hungary still leading Turkey thanks to that penalty from Dominic Szoboszlai. And Chile are a goal up against Albania as the Netherlands come forward again with Reinders. Now Simons with a low shot across the face of goal, but I think Gunn had it covered and it's wide.
Yeah, Simons again, he's manipulated the ball. He's just took it onto his right and he's tried to come across goal. But yeah, he's just kind of dragged it, hasn't he? I think Angus Gunn was comfortable there, but he looks to the sky, doesn't he, Simons? There, he knows that he needs to be doing better than that.
And that match involving Albania and Chile is taking place in Italy at Parma's Stadium. Of course, neutral venues are being used quite a lot during this international break with the new FIFA series, also offering some of the lower ranked teams in the rankings the opportunity to play nations from other parts of the world. Azerbaijan beating Mongolia earlier on today, and Bulgaria also enjoying a rare victory against Tanzania. All European stuff here, of course, as the Netherlands hope for another free kick as Depay goes down under the challenge of Suter on the edge of the penalty area. Nothing given this time, and Scotland will bring it clear. Armstrong down the left-hand side. 2 Southampton players on the field now, with Shea Adams leading the attack. And Steve Clarke will be very keen his team don't concede further goals, because on the balance of play they don't really deserve to. Ralston with the cross in and a header wide from McTominay, and it's another clear-cut opportunity spurned by the Scots. McTominay with a free header inside the 6-yard area. And how many chances do they want to miss this evening?
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity. It's an excellent ball in from Anthony Ralston there. Puts it right on the money. Scott McTominay's at the right-hand side, the right side of his defender as well. Gets the connection, but he's just the accuracy, isn't it? Should be another one in the back of the net. Massive, massive opportunity.
Xavi Simons and Memphis Depay are coming off. And Val Weghorst and Donnell Mylan are coming on. Two players based in Germany. Weghorst now with Hoffenheim. And Mylan, of course, with Dortmund. So, two up top now for Koeman's team for the remainder of this game. Armstrong. It's worked wide to the far side by Ferguson. And there have been one or two calls in the Scottish media for Lewis Ferguson to be given more of an opportunity. This is 11th cap. Of course, he was formerly with Aberdeen before moving to Italy. Interesting move he made, and clearly it's paid off for him.
Yeah, it has. That's it. You're going out playing football at a good standard, and then all he needs now is the right opportunity, and he has to take it. You know, I think always thought very highly of north of the border, playing a lot of football, but never really kind of had the opportunity internationally. You know, even though he's playing game in, game out for Aberdeen. So he's went away, and you know what, and fair play. You know, I'd say to every player to go and experience a different culture. You know, I've done it myself, and it just opens your horizons, you know, and I think he needs to be given that opportunity because he's playing really, really well. Good technical player.
Well, 6 goals in midfield in Italy is good going.
Yeah.
And I'm racking my brains to think of another or any more Scots who played in Serie A apart from him and Dennis Law, but I'm sure there must be a few. As the Dutch give the ball away again, Gakpo straight to Armstrong, midway inside their own half. Wide to the far side, the cross in from Tierney is clipped into the penalty area. It will eventually fall for Adams. The ball may have gone behind, but instead it stays in play and Scotland have it back. Robertson finding McTominay. Back towards Robertson again. Adams waits at the near post, it's beyond him and it's claimed by Flecken.
Yeah, another opportunity there, wasn't it? You know, I think McTominay, Che Adams, just a little bit of confusion there. I think Che Adams needs to be a little bit more alive. I thought he was going to let it go out for a corner kick, but then he's reacted late.
Now Marlon with the low cross in. He seems to be playing on the right with obviously Weghorst down the centre. Ralston finding McGinn in the centre circle. McGinn seeing a shot palmed away by Flecken early in the second half. But Scotland have been picked off by the Netherlands at times when Scotland were really on top in the game.
Yeah, they have, and that's where they've got to learn. You know, I think when you're on top, it's so important that you have to be clinical and capitalise there. But the more we were going forward, you know, it was a wonder goal from Reinders that opened it. Second half we started in the same vein, very much on top, creating the better chances. But as soon as you do switch off against a quality side, they will punish you. When Andam finding himself unmarked in between centre-backs.
Now an opportunity for Wijnaldum again, breaking beyond the Scottish cover. Wide to Marlon, who comes in field. Left-footed curler is blocked inside the penalty area by Porteous. Dumfries wins it back for the Dutch. Now Reinders, fizzed into the feet of Gakpo. He comes in field, right-footed curler from him is not too far wide.
It's fantastic play, isn't it, from the Netherlands there. You know, Reinders and Gakpo linking up very well, but he's very... He knows exactly what he wants to do, Gakpo, but can you stop it from happening? You know, if anything, he can get his foot round that ball a little bit more. I think Angus Gunn is struggling at his bottom left-hand corner there.
9 minutes to play, more changes for the Dutch, leading by 2 goals to nil by Wijnaldum, who scored his 28th international goal to put them 2 up. He will come off now. Daley Blind is coming on, and Toyn Koopmeiners is also entering the field. Now with Atalanta, Cody Gakpo, who made the goal for Wijnaldum, will also take a rest before the Germany game coming up on Tuesday. Daley Blind wins his 105th cap. 34 years of age, now with Girona in Spain. And his only goal for the Netherlands in a decade came against the USA at the World Cup in Qatar, which seems a long time ago now. We've had a lot of football since. McTominay just beaten to it. But the Dutch will see this as a useful tune-up in terms of soaking up pressure and striking on the counter-attack, because if you look at the stats, it looks like a game that Scotland have dominated. It's maybe not quite been like that, but the Netherlands have had 8 shots, 4 on target, 1 corner. Scotland have had 13 shots, 2 on target, 2 corners, as Ralston hoists a back pass towards Gunn, who does well to bring it down on the edge of the penalty area. But it's the shots and shots on target column that Steve Clarke will want his team to work on.
No, you're spot on. You're spot on. You know, I think a game that I think that Scotland have used the ball very well, really caused.
Now Koopmeiners into the penalty area beyond Gunn, and the low ball towards the near post is sent behind. It was a crucial challenge at the near post as Koopmeiners looked to make it 3-0.
Well, I thought Angus Gunn did an excellent well. Koopmeiners timing of the run, the way the pass from Reinder as well there, it was excellent. It just pulled out, fantastic goalkeeping in Ryan. Porteous gets across the front post to stop that ball, that cut back from. Excellent play from both.
Corner kick for the Netherlands with 83 minutes played, only their second corner in the game. Joey Veerman will take it. Weghorst, the tallest player inside the penalty area. Whipped in by Veerman towards Weghorst, free header, and it's 3-0. And Wout Weghorst will always thrive on that sort of service. The big man with a towering header. And things are unravelling here for Scotland. They've had so many chances, they haven't taken them, and now the Dutch are going to enjoy an emphatic victory on the road to Germany. Netherlands 3, Scotland 0.
Well, it's an excellent header. You know, when you get the service, when you've got the big man's attributes, it's excellent, isn't it? And that's what I'm saying. He knows exactly where the goal is. All the pace is on the cross, and he just feels it back where it came from. Big Weghorst there. It's an excellent header. Angus Gunn has no chance. But again, defensively, Scotland need to see where the dangers are. Someone take responsibility, and they get as close and as tight to the big man as they possibly can to put him off. But fantastic header from Wout Weghorst.
But we could see what was coming.
Yeah, but players have to take responsibility. That's their strength. That's their threat. Who's going to take it? And that's what I see that's lacking there. That needs to be better.
Well, Scotland have taken off John McGinn, of course. Northern Ireland coming up on Tuesday. And that will be an opportunity to end this winless sequence. 5 minutes to play. 3-0 the Netherlands lead. Kenny McLean of Norwich has come on. And Scotland have had their chances. We keep on saying that, but it's true. 13 shots on goal. The Netherlands have had 5 on target, and they've scored 3 of them. Now Blind on this near side. But the reality is, this is Scotland's longest run without a victory for over 15 years.
Yeah, it will be a concern.
Here is Mylan into the penalty area now, and he's beyond the challenge, and he's made it 4. And Scotland are capitulating here. Donald Mylan brushing aside the challenge of Ryan Porteous, clipping it low beyond Angus Gunn. And Scotland's worst run for 15 years may be coming at just the wrong time. Mylan timing is run perfectly. He was onside. And Scotland need to rediscover that feel-good factor very quickly before they land in Germany. 4-0.
Yeah, well, I've got to say, I think this is just a misunderstanding with Porteous and Suter there. You know, both can do a little bit more, just to put a little bit more pressure on Marlon there, but it's an excellent finish. You know, Angus Gunn stays big, he just toe pokes it past him into the bottom right-hand corner. It's a great finish, but you've got to be stronger there. Ryan Porteous, get across your man, get the elbow up, protect the ball. But Marlon was it's an excellent finish. Just was his endeavour was excellent.
Well, Ronald Koeman looks a great coach, doesn't he? Brings on two strikers and they both score. There is a VAR check here. Eric Lambrecht, though, gets the call and we are back underway. Well, we can talk about the positives, but the fact is it's 4-0.
Yeah, it's a hard one to take, I'll be honest, Nigel. You know, I think with the performance, with the chances created, the scoreline, you can't really kind of get away from it, can you? You know, I think you look at Steve Clarke, you'll want to focus on the positives for the next game, obviously Northern Ireland. And it's a hard one, you know, because what can you say to the players? Oh yeah, you were excellent, look at this, look at that. But at the end of the day, it's 4-0 and poor goals. I've got to say 3 of them. Poor defending.
And the Netherlands here want more. Milan wide towards the far side. It's cut in by Koopmeiners. The clearance from Suter eventually drops to a teammate, but the Netherlands here are suddenly eager. Scotland could say, I suppose, with some justification that it hasn't been a 4-0 game, but again, they're heading towards a tournament and this is what can happen.
It can, yeah, but these are the games that you need to play, Nigel. I think you learn a lot about your team, your players, and then it's, you know, you look at Northern Ireland, what is it, Gibraltar and Finland. You know, I think it's important that you do get back to winning ways. It's important that you do create lots of chances, score lots of goals, and go into a tournament where kind of a winning mindset and that winning momentum.
Well, we have 2 minutes to play, and now it's a case of Scotland just looking to get this game over with and get out of Amsterdam as quickly as possible and start preparing for that game against Northern Ireland on Tuesday. Different sort of game, of course, on a different day, but you have to go back some time for a loss by 4 clear goals. Of course, they were beaten 4-1 by the French, and it's a 4-0 loss to Russia in October of 2019 in the Luzhniki Stadium. They lost back-to-back games, qualifying then against Russia and Belgium, but of course they did have the playoff in their back pocket when they headed towards Euro 2020, and they beat both Israel and Serbia on penalties to go through. Of course, they avoided the playoffs this time, but there is still time for Steve Clarke. Of course, you can always write off a friendly as a bad night at the office, but if he's looking to make decisions about 1 or 2 players, maybe this gives him the opportunity to make them.
You know, I think that's what these games are all about. You know, I think, like you say, 6 changes from...
Here's an opportunity for Marlon, who clips it over Gunn, and it's onto the roof of the netting. Well, it should have been 5 as we enter 3 minutes of added time, although the flag is up for offside.
Well, I need to see this in the monitor because I thought it was really tight. Yeah, you can see that he's just edging with the shoulder, isn't he? And the head in the offside position there. I've got to say, Jack Henry's got to be a better defensive header as well when it comes up unchallenged.
Hungary now lead Turkey 2-0. Andras Schaffer with the second in Budapest. And Chile now lead Albania by 2-0. Marcus Bolados with the second goal there. Sadio Mane also on the score sheet for Senegal this evening. They're leading Gabon by 3-0 in a World Cup qualifier, but here in a friendly, Scotland 4-0 down away to the Netherlands on Talksport 2, and we will have England against Brazil coming up tomorrow 7 o'clock kickoff on Talksport. Double bill of action on Talksport 2 before that. The Manchester Derby from the Women's Super League at 12:30. And Northampton against Derby from League One at 3 o'clock. League One and League Two action tomorrow. And the promotion races in both divisions are both fascinating as we enter the final month of the season. Scotland here still have the game against Northern Ireland, then they've got Gibraltar and Finland before they face Germany in the opening game of the Euros in Munich. And the Netherlands playing Germany on Tuesday. And it will be interesting to see what Ronald Koeman takes from this game. He'll be delighted that the players he's thrown on have scored, but I'm sure he's not going to be fooled because they've been quite open at times.
Yeah, they have. You know, I think you've called it a couple of times. I think overplaying in that defensive third, caught out against a higher quality of opposition. I think you're punished. You find yourself 2 goals down.
Milan with a high ball forward and the half volley over the top from Koopmeiners. It's another clear-cut chance for the Netherlands, and they are rampant here as this game heads towards a conclusion.
Oh, what a ball this is from Reynolds as well. You know, I'm looking at it. Well, Malin it was, isn't it? But then you're looking at Koopmeiners there. He sees the ball all the way. He knows where the goal is. I think he's just tried to put a little bit too much on it. Keep that along the floor, and that's causing Angus Gunn all sorts of problems.
Might have just clipped the top of the crossbar on the way over as well. Gunn clears downfield. And there is the welcome sound of the full-time whistle for Scotland. A smile on the face of Ronald Koeman as he shakes hands with Steve Clarke. 3 goals in the final 18 minutes, giving a cruel twist of the scoreline for Scotland, who hit the crossbar twice in the game, have more shots on target than the Dutch. But the reality is, in terms of the scoreline, it's a heavy defeat on the road to the European Championships, Chris Iwelumo.
Yes, it is. You know, I think it's but you have to get a puck on the bike and you go again. You have to learn very, very quickly that, you know, when you're in a game, and I've got to say, in control of the game and creating the chances and getting into dangerous areas, you have to be clinical. That is when you have to put the ball in the back of the net, and then you force the opposition to take risks to get back into the game, and that's where you capitalise. I've got to say, I think Scotland were a little bit naive tonight. They kept on going, throwing players forward, on top, leaving it a little bit open at the back, but I've got to say, defensively did their job to get back and cover for one another. And only towards the last probably 25 minutes of the game, those little kind of cracks, kind of defensive communication, not taking your responsibility, taking your opposition player, allowing free opportunities to the opposition. Those little things have to be nullified. But it was a good performance, but it's 4-0, Nigel. You can't shy away from that.
13 attempts on goal, 2 on target. 2,500 Scotland fans here are applauding their team as they go over to appreciate their support. But as you say, they're in tournament mode now. That's certainly on the mind of Steve Clarke. Of course, the players will go back and deal with their various domestic matters before the championships. And maybe it's a good time to have a harsh lesson that you've just got to take your chances.
That's it. You know, I think you've got to learn from it. I think there'll be a lot of discussion. They'll analyse it, and then it's Northern Ireland. So again, if you have that level of performance, you're hoping then that you're going to create more chances, and you have to take them. That's what wins games. That's what puts points on the board. That's what keeps you in tournaments. So you have to be putting the ball in the back of the net consistently. But the performance levels was good. The ball possession was good. But it's just that top end, and that's what matters, Nigel.